All right, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Gonna hopefully get a cooler video today. Kind of going over the benefits of what's going on with me and kind of how things are transpiring. Kind of give you a clearer picture of what's going on in my head. Try to get all the nasty venom out as much as humanly possible because I know that's needed to people to kind of see what this is, but at the same time, still very optimistic about how things are because things are already predetermined. I don't really got to think too much about the future. If things are already set in stone, I can kind of live in the present, kind of just do what I got to do in the present. But one of the main takeaways I get from this whole thing is I get to live a life kind of more in accordance of what I've always kind of wanted to do things I've always kind of wanted to do. I've always liked kind of moving around, going from place to place, seeing different things. I know that's part of my autism. A lot of people's autism where kind of like new experiences, trying new things, doing all that fun stuff. So I like to tap into that and be like, you know what, let's go over here, let's try this, let's try that. So I'm glad that I get to do that. Kind of fulfills me, doing different things and trying different things. I know the 80% will say this, that, and the third, but that's kind of why I do it. I don't really like being stationary for too long. I do it a lot of times because it's necessary for whatever situation that I'm in. But if I had it my way, I will kind of be moving around from place to place every few weeks or so. So that's kind of something that I'm glad I get to do right now, and I know that's going to be pretty much what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, is just moving around, not going too far obviously, but just moving around from place to place for myself. I think it's better for me, for my mental clarity, but also, just for the type of person I am and the reactions that I get. I know I can't stay in one place for too long because of how people are. That's a benefit for me though. I like the fact that I finally get to live, like I say, a life more accordance to how I truly am, and being like a free person. Because I'm definitely noticing that most people don't actually really want to be free. I like the fact that people have control over them, that they just don't have all those responsibilities that a free person will have. I think 20% of us, the keepers, the people who kind of keep the lights on, essentially, we're the main ones who are kind of advocating for our freedom. And the 80% are just kind of, the cattle, unfortunately. Not fortunately, there's nothing wrong being cattle or being part of the herd, but I definitely see them not being so gung-ho on having that. So it's something that I'm glad to have a little bit more clarity on, seeing things for what it is. So I get that some people, they just don't want to have that type of responsibility. They kind of want to be just kind of led, you know what I'm saying? They don't really want to think too much about what's going on and how to be or how to live, which I don't blame them. It's not too fun. At the same time, I very, very thankful to be on kind of this side of that, and not really just having autonomy. I think that's how you say it. Over my life. I appreciate that. Like I said, I know some people, they want to be told what to do and where to go and this, that, and the third. And that's just kind of how people are genetically, I think. It's how we got to this point, how we gotten our population size to, I think it's somewhere almost 9 billion at this point. I can't remember, I haven't seen the numbers in a while, but yeah, we got a lot of people on this planet, and it makes a lot of sense on why we do the things that we do and why we've got to this point. So I definitely understand that and I accept that. But that's one of the things that I really, really enjoy about what I do is just having autonomy over what I'm doing and where I'm going, having that freedom, and it's living life more in accordance to how I've always viewed it. You know what I'm saying? So this is definitely something I'm taking inventory on, and I appreciate, like I said, what everyone's doing, everyone involved. I know this is all love. Y'all all believe in me. Y'all want me to keep thriving and doing what needs to be done, not only here locally, but just everywhere that I go. I'm going to be doing those things, so that's why I don't get too upset. I get a little upset, obviously. You know, we all have emotions, but I know what this truly is, and I appreciate y'all. So we will get through this, and we will usher in this new world because it is very much needed in these times. So we're all just doing our part. So let's keep this bad boy going.